Okay, guys, I'm on this crazy kick right now about epigenetics. But not only epigenetics, but also methylating. And not only methylating, but also about the placebo effect. Because these concepts have everything to do with how you feel, who you are, your health, and what you look like from the inside out. So I've already started a couple of videos because I've been voraciously reading and learning and trying to understand why at the age of 47 that I acquired the business, correct? And I say in my videos, this is the business. And I do that for people who are tuning in. Or for people to see that in a year's time of doing ketogenic videos, you can see that I've gained 4 more pounds of muscle. So altogether in a year and a half, I've gained 15. So I had a big, huge growth spurt. And then because I switched to grass-fed beef, high in B12 and iron, I had another growth spurt. Oh, and creatine. So I'm always looking for those ways to just preserve my DNA. So your DNA is on this chain, or as they say, like a shoestring, with these little plastic caps on the end. And every time you do something stupid, those caps or telomeres have a propensity to pop off. And when they pop off the end of your shoestring, you're going to age and you're going to feel subjective and you're going to feel like shiteness. So we're all in this quest to feel good and have longevity and health and feel strong, because we are ultimately animals trying to survive. We're all just squirrels trying to get a nut. Okay, so with that said, people are always on these diets. They're like on the HCG diet, carb backloading, carb night, cyclic ketosis, just low carbohydrate, low fat. People are doing the Atkins diet, or whatever diet, and paleo diet. Oh, the freaking ketogenic diet. People are always on these freaking diets, and they still do not achieve the business. They do not. Why, pray tell? Why is it so difficult for some people to maximize their genetic potential, their DNA, their RNA, and some are just fledgling? They're just, oh, help me, I'm struggling. Why? Well, I believe because of the placebo effect. And it can go in a good way, or it could go in a dark way. So what would that be? Thoughts control chemicals. And chemicals have actions. Your cells divide and they suck up the chemical. And they actually can become addicted to the chemicals that you create through a thought. And we're hardwired like that. Because a synapse is like a key going into a lock, and it's stuck there, right? You can't get the key out of the lock. And that's your brain patterning right here. Prefrontal cortex. Everything we do is a freaking pattern. Everything, let's say that around 90% of what you thought today, you thought of yesterday, and the day before that, and the day before that. And you want to know why that you do not increase your fantabulosity in life. Feeling, looking. It's very incredible because the older I get at 47, and the days pass like that, and then I'll be 50. And I used to be a pro skateboarder, so I have a ton of injuries all over the place. So for me, it is the point to methylate, to keep homocysteine levels down, and to get glutathione production back up. and to have a nice, beautiful source of folate or folic acid. B12, super important. So the nutrients that we take in and our detoxification pathways and then our thoughts have everything to do with preserving our DNA, RNA. But nobody seems to think in those terms. We're very subjective creatures. We think that the way that we feel, we protect everything. I'll have conversations with people, which I do every day, and I'll ask them simple questions and they'll say, yeah, but. But they don't have the business, but there's a lot of yeah, buts. But see, I don't give a shit about your yeah, buts, because they have nothing to do with me. That's between you and yourself. All I know is the facts. The facts are that you have low blood sugar, that you don't feel well, you have no energy at all, you have taxed adrenals, you have follicle problems, you have leaky gut problems, you have all these issues, and ultimately, when you look in the mirror, you're inflamed. That's all I know. That's all what I can see. So it doesn't matter what you say, because what you said today, 90% of it, you said yesterday and the day before that. See, because our eyes are like camera lenses. Like, my peripherals can see things all over the place, but my brain is like, it can't analyze all that information that the eyes can see. Because the eyes can see 400 billion bits of information per second, but our brains can only understand around 2,000. And you know what? That's a lot of error in your perception of whatever you think is right. People are always talking about what this person's doing and that. You see this on the news. But really, we're not hunter-gatherer societies anymore. We don't really have a purpose to survive. So, we go freaking nuts. And so nutty people are trying to analyze nutty people. Because you're not methylating. You're not detoxing. You're not growing. You're going through cellular death. The mind becomes like on a hamster wheel. And that's very subjective. Because we have these incredible complex systems to survive. And we're not surviving. So every time you want that material thing, that toy, when you have an obsession or an addiction to something that has nothing to do with your survival, for your cellular reproduction, for your internal antioxidant, glutathione, then you freaking cuckoo. You lost your freaking granola nuts. Like I said, it's not about all these stupid diets. It's about you, who you are. Even people who eat crappy diets, or people who do vegan diets and they don't get enough of the complete 22 set of amino acids in their diet daily, some of these people might be methylating. So it's very subjective to look at one person on a diet, because even epigenetics play a role. What did their grandparents eat? Because what your grandparents ate and how they dealt with stress is going to be indicative of how you react to today's stress. And that's why you take twins, and one twin gets cancer and one does not. Because everybody's still an individual and has an individual mind, and every single thing that you go through every second is going to affect your cells or your ability to methylate. And your mind has such a control over your body's health, you have no idea. Because you're stressed all day, you're inflamed, you're not methylating, and you go through cellular death, and you age, and you can do whatever diet. I don't care what diet you're on. It's not going to work. Because you're not going down that rabbit's hole to find out the first problem. I get silly things like, oh, it's the holidays. What am I going to do? I'm like, really? Really? You are making life harder in here. You make life harder here. You make life almost impossible in your little landscape here. So what I've learned how to do is don't sweat the small stuff. And I'm forcing myself to be out of my comfort zone so I can learn how to survive, because I have a complex system that I'm not using when I'm sitting on my ass. This, okay, where is it? Okay, I swear I'm back. This is just creating toxic buildup in the body. And it's making me stupid in here. I don't go to the gym for 3 hours to build muscle. Are you kidding me? I don't need to. I go there to methylate. I go there to meditate. I actually go there to relax in between sets. And I don't run around the gym like some crazy person trying to get the P90X body. That's stupid. I just go to Whole Foods. People say like, oh my God, don't you miss this crap food? I'm like, no, because it takes 21 days to redesign my taste buds to freaking feel every molecule in Mother Earth. The taste, the texture, the beauty. I don't like cover it up with a bunch of freaking sugar and junk, preservatives and chemicals. I remember when I went over and moved over to Europe, nearly 16 years ago when I came back, every single thing tasted like freaking sugar explosion. It was so, I wanted to gag. But then over time, your taste buds get used to it and nothing tastes sweet enough. Remember, your mind is a reflection of your body. And when you start focusing on material things, and when you get stuck on nuts and on cheese and on alcohol and on caffeine, you're stupid. Because nothing should rule your life. Because if you can't give up and be malleable and flexible, you're not going to get what? The freaking business. It's not going to happen. Because all about being a human being is about being in flux and malleable. You have to evolve with the times. I refuse to let any one thing in my life rule me, because I know the second I do, I don't have control over my life anymore. If food doesn't taste good because I don't have these things in it, if life doesn't feel good because I don't have these material things in it, then I'm screwed. I got a lot of years left of not being happy. I've got to be able to bend and morph. So when I busted my knee, had 10 surgeries on my left knee, and I can't run or jump anymore, I was like, I've got to evolve. Because if I want the business, I have to evolve. I can't run, jump, lunge, or squat. It sucks. So I start learning how to use my upper body. And I start learning how to walk on my hands. And I start learning how to do pull-ups. Because I have to evolve. The mind needs to feel like it's got to survive. Or else I'm a wounded animal that's just going to get, stuck behind. Whew, man, time is just going by. I'm going to have to do part 2. Yeah. Okay, you guys. You have to get the toxins out. You have to change your thinking. That's the placebo effect that really affects your body. And that I truly believe that the reason why at age 47 on the ketogenic diet, the reason why I gained 15 pounds in a year and a half, the reason why I'm able to still be young is because I know my this here is connected to this. And I'll do whatever it takes. And I'll get rid of the junk. Because I don't want to be married to anything. I want to have free thought. I don't want to be slaved to the external world. Because that's the matrix that you guys are in. I think that's it for now. I'm going to have to do a part 2. It's so fascinating. I love it. And I want to teach you guys how to detox, how to methylate, how to get in touch with this, and this, and this. StephaniePerson.com. You can go to the show notes. There's links. You can just go right there. I have a Facebook fan page, which is just Stephanie the Business Person, which I'm on all the time. So don't go to my personal one. I'm not even on there as much anymore. Or Stephanie Ketogenic on my Instagram, you guys. I'm going to do part 2 right now because this is such an interesting subject. Peace out.